What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. I'm here with Jamie. It's gonna be a solo ladies' night. I think Antonio got the COVID child, so pray for him.
Oh, baby.
I hope not, but he is not feeling well. And as you know, Omarion variant is definitely
Mm,
going around. It's
look,
everywhere. So if you're out there, be careful. But welcome to tonight's episode about Salt Lake City, which was another chaotic episode. We actually were like live texting, and I really wanted to come live yesterday. I wish we could have, but obviously Sundays is not the best day to be consistent. Jamie, how you doing?
I'm good. I thought I had Omari on last week, and it turned out just to be like a sinus infection that I'm at the very tail end. So if I cough, if I pull a Danny, if I'm sniffling, like y'all are just gonna have to forgive me.
So you had Marcus Houston, you didn't have Mario.
I had J Boog. I had J Boog, not
You had
Omarion.
not Jay Boog, you had little Fizz.
I had a little fizz.
I don't know, but we're gonna talk about last night's episode. Of course, if you're watching, I do see Christine, Carrie Conversations, Demisio, hey y'all in the chat. I know y'all gonna be joining. We're gonna talk about tonight's episode. It's gonna be good because it was a good episode. Very chaotic, as I said. Like Salt Lake City, it's just like usually by now I'd be like, damn, I want this to end, but it's like the drama
It,
that they have is like the main. It's there's two storylines, but it intensifies every week. So as of right now,
they're
I'm not
just getting
tired.
started. They're
Yeah,
just getting
it's like
started. I'm,
even
I'm
when
not
it's
mad at it.
right. I'm like I can't be upset. It is what it is. Don't forget to like this video, hit that thumbs up, support the channel. Of course, we've kind of been like this doing one video a week just because bitches is tired. Bitches is tired. But as you saw, New Jersey's trailer came out, so we will cover New Jersey. I'm sure Married to Medicine is coming
Yeah,
soon.
that's the one we're
And
waiting on
yeah, really
because
waiting
they've
on
been filming longer than anybody.
right. So yeah. Thank y'all for joining us this like once a week. We here or whatever here and there. But let's talk about the episode. So last episode, we finished off at it was the photo shoot for her business. What's it
Hmm.
called? Rose Beauty or whatever,
Rose
Wild Rose
and
Beauty.
Wild
And this is
Rose.
we finished off with Whitney basically saying that she was trying to figure out a way to take down Mary. She wanted the rest of the girls. So in this episode, we last week was the first we had a bit of Jen. We saw Jen meet with Heather too. That was a surprise. Lisa chose not to meet with her, or at least not even respond at that time. That changes this episode because in this episode she actually meets up with Lisa. I mean she actually meets up with Jen, and her demeanor is different. She's not worried about Stu. She's not worried about the lawyers. Like she's like it seems like she tried to convince us by saying she talked to John and John said talk to her. But she even says, I'm looking at you as innocent. And I'm looking at Lisa like you're I don't know, honey. Like, I'm just saying.
Look.
If you calling six lawyers, you can't be thinking this lady is too innocent. I'm just saying. What's your thoughts?
I mean, she couldn't wait to tell them about the. Oh, well, I know exactly where she went after she got out of the Uber, and I wonder if it was the same night that we had this conversation. Like, she couldn't wait. Like, none of those bitches could wait. So the
Yeah.
fact that they're now trying to get ahead of their own stories to try to like get in good with Jen, like we knew it would happen. Lisa did this exact same thing with Mary last week,
Mm-hmm.
or the week before. So the fact that, like, I'm surprised she didn't meet up with Jen last week. I think she met up with Jen this week, probably because she heard that Heather had, and she didn't want Heather to talk shit about her to Jen.
Right.
Lisa's
I
not
mean,
dumb. Lisa ain't dumb.
oh no. She's very smart, she's a little calculated. Um
Very
and
calculated.
But Jen is more upset with Lisa because she feels like she was quiet. She thought if anybody would have reached out or would have answered her call, it would have been her. And she's like screaming at her and just saying like, I come first. I come first. And I'm looking at Jen like, wait a minute, Natalie. I mean, I get what she was trying to say, but I don't think it was articulating the way what she was trying to say. I mean, that's what I got from it. But
It never
basically, what
happens.
she meant was saying like she wants a ride or die down, Bone Thugs and Harmony friend, come get me out one day. Like that's what she wanted. And Lisa was trying to say, well, listen, like we don't know how no one knows how they were reacting to her in the situation. All these things happening. I needed space to myself to just kind of think about it. And Jen's like, no, I come first. Any thoughts on that? No.
Well, Lisa, it was the battle of two egos and two narcissists sitting there. Because then Lisa transitions into, well, to be honest, I was still mad at you for our last conversation, and
Yeah.
that's why I didn't reach out to
did.
you. And Jen is like, well, everything that happened after that should erase that. We're going through crises, and both of them wanted the other person to realize something the other person really did not care to realize. Like, their friendship. Their friendship is something.
Last season, it seemed to be, it was annoying to me that I always felt like I didn't understand why Lisa would, she was kind of blindly defending, what's her name? Jen a lot last season,
Yeah.
And so she's also kind of defended, kind of slightly Jen against Meredith, her closest best friend. So I was kind of surprised and shocked that she didn't answer the phone but I mean, same time, based off what she was saying in Vail, it aligned with what she said in Vail. But this conversation at the table, it didn't align today. It was like a whole different Lisa was talking. It wasn't, oh my God, Stu. It was
at all. It wasn't shaking and crying.
It wasn't I'm shaking.
I'm shaking, guys. Oh my God, guys.
Yeah. Kira Conversation says the way Jen argues is through gaslighting. She met her match with Lisa. Yeah, Lisa really wasn't trying to hear it.
Lisa does the same thing. Lisa does the same thing, though.
She does.
The exact same thing. So it literally is just like bouncing off of each other.
I can see who says that Lisa and Jen are both alike, but they're without tears and playing victim. They do. But unfortunately, I happen to like one, and I don't like
a little more than the other. Yeah.
No, a lot more actually.
I like Lisa.
I like Lisa. I don't agree with her sometimes, but I do like her.
She's entertaining for sure. You know, and I was just thinking about this as I was watching this episode. You and I don't know if you remember when you and I first started recapping the show last year, our consensus with Lisa was that we felt like she didn't want to be there. She wasn't really interacting with any really of the ladies. She was with Meredith. That's her and Meredith were really the only ones that were interacting. She was defending Jim, but she never seemed to be enjoying her time on the show. And it was always like Lisa was kind of off to the side. And then this season, she's jumped right into the middle of pretty much every single conflict.
We should have known by the reunion that this Lisa was coming. Because the reunion, Lisa carried that reunion. If you think back, she did carry that reunion, in my opinion. I mean, we talked about it then, but I thought she carried the reunion, and so I mean, I'm happy that she stood up. I hope she accepts that she's a villain. I'm sure she doesn't, because no one wants to be labeled as a villain. But if you're watching the show, she is the villain of this. Well, I don't know.
No.
There are other villains. After tonight, I'm gonna say the villain is Jenny, but we're gonna get into that.
Oh Lord! Y'all not gonna let that.
That is Jenny. Is the real villain. We'll talk about that. So then we get another glimpse of Heather's family. This is her brother, and I guess that's like her side storyline that her and being Mormon and not being Mormon. Her brother basically comes out and says that did he like remove himself from it? Is that what he was?
Yeah, he was just kind of recounting some of the things that led up to him removing, and it's once he really dove into the history of the church independently that he was like, I can't jive with this. And I got to respect Heather because she's kind of been on the same stance with her religion since episode 1. And I think that's almost kind of why the show, it doesn't necessarily revolve around her, but I think ultimately when you think of Salt Lake City, you think of Mormons and stuff. And so part of the reason why Heather is interesting to watch is because with all of these side fights and everything, she still brings it back to center of there's still a lot of crazy shit that goes on around here. And it's that's so
I was laughing at
it. I read it. I read that.
It is very awful. It is actually, but he also he spends a lot of time at beauty lab, so it's hard to really get a cry out.
Nothing settles. Nothing is able to settle because she's just pumping right back. Pumping right back. I love.
But he says he felt bad because he raised his kids in a cult.
Yeah. And
I said, now why are we going in on Mary if she had a cult? I'm not here for cults. I'm just saying because that ain't my ministry. But it's interesting to hear that because someone has said in the comments or we've talked about the last few weeks where, you know, being Mormon is also looked at as a cult, you know, so it's interesting.
Depending on the level
Right.
of, you know, you've got the super orthodox ones that follow like it to a T. And Heather's even said this. Heather's been very open about, and even Whitney too. Whitney's been like, yeah, no, I'm distancing myself from that. I'm uninterested in that shit. So, I mean, that's what now, on the other hand, it would be different if both of them were kind of like, well, I wouldn't go so far as to call it that. Blah. I'd be like, well, hold on now.
Well, I would love to see what they say, but I mean, I guess I don't know. You know what? I feel like Mary gonna probably bring it up and be like, well, your brother said. I mean, I don't know.
She probably will.
If I was Mary, I would. I would. You know, I would too.
Hey, while we're discussing cults, let's
talk about cults.
Let's talk about it. Let's not bring up the husband.
Yeah, right. But then after that, we get another glimpse of another piece of culture and religion, which is Ramadan. Now, I know of Ramadan because I work in IT and I work with a lot of outsourced employees, a lot of people from India, a lot of Islamic individuals that I've worked with over the years. So I don't participate in it, but I've literally seen them, you know, fast from, was it sun up to sundown? What is it?
There's certain time periods.
It's a certain time in which you can eat. But we see Coach Shah and their son, and then I guess like the nephews, like their family, and you know, we see all these men, and we see this lady in the back with this, you know, looking like she in witness protection. I don't know. And when she takes that little scarf off, it's Jen in her witness protection wig.
She got a stiff wig. Look, I felt a way about that scene because I understand that Muslims, like any religion, they take their beliefs and they take their practices, like, you know, very seriously, as they should. It's a call to prayer in Ramadan. That's like one of the most sacred like times of year for them, and what they do. And there's just something about anything that Jen Shah is involved in that makes it look just like
anything she does. I don't believe it
at all.
I don't believe it. She doesn't. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I don't believe in Ramadan, but I'm not. That's not me. But I don't
believe her from her.
Yeah, I don't believe.
I believe
her.
Coach Shah and his family. Absolutely, I believe that they're in it. But the fact that, I mean, she's only alluded to like, oh, well, we're Muslim and we're this, but I want to know what kind of Muslim she is, because that lady cussing, fighting, throwing drinks, frauding people. Like, has the church gotten rid of you yet? I want to ask, because this wig was stiff.
Whose wig you think that was? I said it was Garcelle's wig. Dr. C who said it was Robert Dixon's wig.
That was Ashley Mama wig. That was an Ashley Mama wig.
With the eye patch?
That was an Ashley Mama wig.
Oh, Lord. Not, what's her name?
That was Big Sheila. That was
Big
Sheila wig.
Sheila. I don't know whose wig. In the comments, let us know whose wig that was, because that was not Jen's wig. It wasn't even laid right.
She looked like Angelina Jolie at a UN ambassadors meeting with Doctors Without Borders. Like, she was really gunning for this Oscar of I'm innocent. This is my court wig. Like, you wouldn't arrest me. I'm a religious woman. I'm so mad.
Right. Sasuke said it was 100% Garcelle. That was Garcelle's hair.
That's so rude, Sass. Sass one.
You know, Sasuke don't like Garcelle. I'm not surprised.
Look, Katie from Potomac had a better wig when she came back and dragged Ashley. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that wig was not it. I mean, you know, but if she really wants to be the Black woman she aspires to be, then that's the wig. I guess she did it. Go ahead, Jen.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, why don't you just wear your hair?
I want to see her in a pixie cut.
Wearing a wig.
I want to see her in a pixie cut.
A nice Halle Berry shortcut. That's what I want to see.
A little Great Gatsby cut. So then after that, her and Coach Shah have a conversation, basically where Coach Shah is like, he's basically like, we need to possibly thinking of all possibilities to downsize, cut on costs, you know, to pay for some of these things, because she had like a $2 million what's it called? What is it called? The retainer or something like that, to where she
the lawyer fees and stuff.
Yeah. The fees, she has some high ass fees, and so, you know, she's basically saying everything she puts out as if she's the provider of the family, saying she pays over $50K, you know, to staff, which is like family or whatever, I guess helping family, whatever she does. And so,
look, if I was part of that family and my family member is under indictment for fraud, I wouldn't want them saying on national TV that I'm on the payroll. I'd be like,
Well,
no,
that's
no,
not the
no, no,
first
no,
time.
no,
That
no,
family should be looking at her weird anyway, because she
no,
has
no.
already said last week that, where they at, why they ain't calling. I've helped them,
Yeah,
I've done this for them, where they at. And now she's
yeah.
saying, well, I'm paying this amount of money for them to do this or whatever. It's looking like the family should be looking at her like,
Well, and I felt bad for Coach Shaw in this because one, if you remember last season, he brought up that they should probably downsize as well. He was dropping hints at like, yo, we don't need this big ass house, like we just don't need it.
yeah.
And Jen, like that whole scene, and then last week's scene when she's talking about the family, like she's not doing that out of the goodness of her heart. She's doing it to stun on them. She's doing it as a power play to show that
Yeah.
like you need to be grateful. You need to know what I can do for you, what I'm providing for you. It all feeds into her ego. So for her, and then at the end of it, she even said that she was hesitant to get rid of the house. I'm like, the fuck? Are you stupid? Why? Your kids don't even like you. They don't live there.
What I
Get
don't
rid of that
understand
damn
is, if
house.
she's such a breadwinner, why is she constantly renting, leasing houses?
You could buy a nice house that's
I
not
don't
a
understand.
fucking mansion.
If you have that much money to spend, $50K on staff for whoever they are, and you got a team, why does she not own a property in Salt Lake City? That doesn't make sense to me. And I don't understand, how is Coach Shaw like just able to live?
Well,
It's just
whenever
weird.
you buy property now, thanks to the housing market crash, you actually have to provide actual proof of income whenever you purchase in order
Yeah.
to qualify for a mortgage. If Jen is laundering money and fraud and all that stuff, it's not like she can give accurate tax returns to prove what she is bringing in order to qualify for a legitimate mortgage. So that's probably why she's renting, which would still be a huge red flag.
But this
If
is
I was her husband, I'd be
she
like,
ain't
bitch, what are
30,
you,
she ain't 20, she's in
what are
her
you doing?
40s. I mean, she's married, and as a husband, you think that they've been married all this time. Why don't they own something? It's just it's weird to me. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
I mean, they talked about it last year. I mean, Whitney, God bless her nosy ass, was bringing it up last year and a little bit this year. Why they didn't go harder on it, I don't know.
I don't know. So after that, we get to Lisa and Whitney, who are going paddle board yoga, whatever it is, in Park
They
City.
want to be Rena and Crystal so bad.
I know, right, child. I saw that. That's actually what I saw was Crystal
and Rena.
over and over and over. But in this conversation, I was surprised they were meeting up. But I guess Lisa
Same.
called this meeting. I'm kind of tired of them meeting up, because it's like we already know what's going to happen. When the shit hits the fan, they're going to like do this to each other. They do this. They point at each other. It's so easy. It's like, I don't understand. Like, they should just realize we're not going to be friends. We're going to coexist within this group, and that be that.
And I'm yelling at Whitney because it's like, are you fucking stupid? Every time you meet with this lady and you open your fucking mouth and give information, she turns right the fuck around and uses it against you. What? Are you dumb?
But you know what? I feel like they are both using each other. They both
Absolutely.
know they're both using each other to get.
Well, Whitney said that.
But she
said, if I'm going down, I'm taking Lisa with me.
They will be better as a duo. They will. If they were a duo, it would work. But because they don't like each other, it's like it's not even fun to watch, because y'all have all this information, all this. Apparently, let's just say she read all this online. I googled it. I saw stuff online, but I didn't see like no articles or no valid resources to where she was talking about. But once again, Whitney is speaking like she knows more information, and she said it's terrible to where she didn't want to speak on it. I'm like, okay, Whitney.
She's so dramatic every single time she relays a message. Just like, girl, just say what you gotta say. Just say what you gotta say. Let's get it over with. Damn.
Hello, Bob. Just be so dramatic, girl.
And I got in touch with Cameron, and Cameron told me that I'm like,
I thought Lisa would go off. Like, did you think Lisa was gonna go off on her when she found out?
I thought Lisa was gonna ask, why did you get in touch with Cameron? But her response was, Cameron knows Angie. So I was like, oh, that's your in. That was your excuse. Hey, a mutual friend of mine knows this person, so I just want to reach out to him. Yeah. Look, my thing is, like, I think Lisa's playing fake mad at Whitney for calling Cameron. Lisa is giddy that Whitney called Cameron to get that information, because then that means she can say, no, that was Whitney. That wasn't me. I didn't release that information. Because even then she's sitting there as Whitney is saying Mary's doing A, B, C, or D, and she's like, wow, oh my God, I never knew any of that. I'm like, but
Yeah.
Cameron is the one that told her this. So like, how did you not know? You said all along that Cameron has, disclosed
Yeah.
all of this to you, but now you're surprised. Like, she ain't slick.
If
I want to be
she,
her when I grow up.
my thing is, if Lisa believes 100% believes Cameron, then why did she even go to Mary's room to ask questions? And like, I don't understand. Like, I
She's
get it,
supposed
it's
to.
messy, but it's just like, why? You have the answer. You said you believe. It's not like you believe Cameron regardless. So why go and ask this woman questions about things you already don't believe?
Well, she did that to try to paint a picture of herself as the, oh, I don't believe any of this, but I still have to ask Mary. So don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me for talking about it, but I'm just curious. Because even the questions she's asking weren't any. She was like, you just have to tell me. Do people think you're God? She didn't talk about fraud. She didn't talk about swindling people out of money. She said, do people think you're God? Like, oh God.
That's weird.
She's not stupid. She's not
They
stupid.
are. I do agree with Dr. C, who like they kind of insinuating that
Yeah.
Mary is like
Which
the
is weird.
voodoo. It's just weird. I'm just like,
I'm like,
okay,
y'all need to stick with the reason why you're mad with Mary. If you're saying
right?
that
It's getting a little
she has
dark. It's getting
bad
dark.
business practices or she's extorting money, stick with that. But now to saying like, oh well, Mary said that she's responsible for Jen being arrested or whatever. I'm like,
Personally,
that's really
it
weird.
all feels like they are so eager to believe that this woman can wave a spoon and say, "Go to the sunken space and take money," because maybe it's happened to them, or they've seen it. Because it's just like some of this stuff. Like when you hear some things, you be like, "Oh hell no, that ain't real." It's just like,
Yeah.
now maybe she taking the tithes and offers and paying on her house. We don't know. But is she literally doing this and hypnotized? Give me 20K
Yeah.
right now. I'm God. No, stop it.
Exactly.
It's annoying.
Exactly. And and again, we've talked about this before. We've grown up in church. We all know, I mean, we all hear about pastors dipping into the offering plate. We all understand that. And so it's just, I don't understand why they're trying to, like, if Meredith had it right, unless Cameron was like swindled into giving this money, this is kind of Cameron's doing. Cameron did it willingly. There wasn't a gun to his head. He didn't, he wasn't drugged
Right.
and
Well,
woke
they
up.
were well,
Like,
they
he
were
did
no,
this.
because remember they had the debate on Twitter like last month when the first episode aired with him on it, and they were saying like, he was kind of mentally ill, and they were saying that basically his illness that caused him to perish basically was deteriorating his mental health, and so it was a lot. Meredith was saying that he was
Yeah.
having issues. Lisa was saying no. Or was it vice versa? It was one of the two. I can't remember who said what.
Yeah.
But they
I
were
think
battling about that on
Meredith was
Twitter.
like, because Meredith was if he did this of his own recognizance, but then we're asking, how long ago did he get this money? Was it a month before he passed? Was it the day before you guys started to investigate Mary? Like, how long ago was this? Because the blogs are saying he was actually engaged to one of Mary's nieces. So he was family, which is how he was involved in the church. And then apparently things soured after him and the niece ended up not getting married. So in my instance, I'm like, it just sounds like whatever. Mary's not forcing people to give them money. You can say no.
Mary can't even force Robert to bring up her what was it?
Belt or bag.
What was it? What was the designer belt or something? He was like,
It
"What?"
was a belt.
He was like, "I don't even know what that is."
He sounded so aggravated with her.
They
so
both
mad with her.
That was the awkward scene. I'm just like, "Ooh, child."
She said, "I gotta go to this dinner." He said, "Whatever." I'm like, God damn.
He did. He just gave this old couple that's just sick of each other.
He's like, just get out of this house, God. And I don't know why you're sick of each other. The house is huge. You don't have to see each other if you don't want to.
Mary spends time in her room with her mannequin heads and stuff, and she talks to them, and she probably does their hair better than she does her own hair because
she's done a little bit better this season.
This
one
this
season do good.
It's a little better, but so
it's just there. It's just there.
At the pho luncheon, the pho luncheon. It was. I didn't mind a little bang. It could use a little more bang, but it was cool. I mean,
a little more bang for your buck.
Bang for the buck. So after the scene, we get to the big finale, which is very chaotic, which is the pho peace luncheon. And it's interesting because people always say pho, whatever. It's pho. I mean, clearly, even though it's fun to say pho or whatever case, it's pho. And they have it at the park. And one I'm gonna say, I'm not really. I mean, it's not a park. It's a peace garden, right? It's like a garden. So it's
That's what Jenny said.
it is, but it was still given park. It just had it was given park, but it did have like it was the decor and the ambiance gave Japanese garden or whatever. It gave that, and so all the ladies arrived. Do you think anybody look good? Anybody look bad? Any outfits you liked or didn't like?
I mean, it's honestly, it was so chaotic. I don't remember what anybody wore or what anybody looked like. I did like Jenny's little pink button-up dress. I thought Jenny looked really pretty. That's really honestly the only thing I remember that people wore. I remember nothing else.
I like Lisa's, and I did
Lisa
like
was red, right?
No, Lisa had
like
the
maroon?
green thing. The green thing. The long green thing, you don't see the green thing. No. Well, I like hers, and I like Whitney's. It was like she had like a two-piece like suit situation. It was like pink. It was cute.
Whitney always looks good. She's insufferable, but she always looks good. So
yeah, I ain't gonna say always. Now she look decent sometimes.
When she gets a couple of drinks in her, she starts looking a mess.
She started hitting the split. But upon arrival, Meredith, Lisa, and Jenny are there first. And then in comes Heather, Whitney, and Jen. And Meredith's like, didn't we say not to invite? Sorry. Yeah, didn't we say? Didn't we say not to?
Didn't we say that if I was invited?
I can't even.
Baby, she was hot. She was hot.
Yeah, she was mad. She was mad.
The way she said that to Jenny sounded like when you're like condescendingly scolding a child. Like, no, didn't I tell you that we weren't gonna go in these people's store and act a fucking fool?
Exactly. Very much so. And
Jenny just said,
she was just like, well, so when she kind of got a little snazzy, if what you call it now, because when they asked, was Mary coming, she said, I invited everybody. And I'm like, okay, Jenny. So the event is
she doesn't see it from Meredith though. She does not like Meredith at all. Jenny does not like Meredith. If you watch any of the after shows, she consistently.
I think she probably doesn't like Meredith now, but in the show, she's not giving it.
Possibly.
So at the reunion, I will be maybe something happens because I mean Jenny is coming at Mary and they have anything, and Meredith has loyalty to Mary, so maybe it's that. I don't know. And then also, I mean, I don't even know. Is Jenny and Lisa still like friends, or
I think so. Yeah, because they do their after shows together.
Oh, they do? Okay, I haven't watched.
Yeah, they do the after shows together.
Since Mary came on. Okay, well that's interesting to know. Yeah. I'm about to watch the after show to see because I didn't watched it in like 2 or 3 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
So then they go and sit down, and Jenny has a very specific seating chart, and it's very weird. She has who's right here? She has Meredith, Mary, and Heather, and then she has Lisa, Jen
and Whitney.
And the only thing that's really weird, I mean, I guess is more so Mary being next to Heather. It's specific because initially she makes it very known that she's uncomfortable. She did say she was scared of Mary. I mean, she did. So Mary's not there yet, but when she does get there, she's already complaining about, wearing her formal wear in the park. I don't know what formal wear she was wearing.
I said, what is formal about this? What
exactly.
Are we doing?
But she has a nice attitude. She's not like pissy or upset. It seems like she sits down and all the, they start eating some of the food or whatever. And Whitney kind of whispers over to Jen, and it's just like, I don't like that they're all being a little fake. And Mary catches it. So Mary's like, she was like, did you say like you're all being fake? And then Whitney's like, I was like, girl. And then
you deserve
Lisa
that.
Heard it too,
you deserve that.
Lisa heard it too.
Well, Lisa claims, she goes, I heard it too.
She did.
Girl, shut up.
She did. She was like, I heard it too. And so I'm like, okay, but basically Whitney, she doesn't backpedal. She says, well, I just don't understand how we're all being fake and this and that. And Mary's just like, do we want to are we trying to rehearse? Like, what are you trying to do here? Like, what are you doing? And Jenny's like, no, we don't want to hurt anybody. And so at this point, Mary's like, well, I can tell by Jen gives her spiel. Jen basically says what happens to her when she goes from the bus after not making the bill. And then Mary's like, I can tell by your outfit you didn't go to jail. And I'm like, first of all, I guess you can see the outfit, but I'm like, Mary, what? It wasn't like the outfit was cute. It was just a furry coat and some braids. But nonetheless, she said that. And then she's just looking at Jen and she's like, so you're oblivious? So like you really didn't know? Like you didn't know that
she grilled her a little bit.
Did they put your name out grilled her. She was talking to her. You said what?
She grilled her.
She was grilling her, but it was, do you think it was inappropriate?
No, they were legitimate questions because, look, Whitney, you said, I don't like how everybody here is being fake. So what are we doing? Are you meaning that Heather and Mary made up? So is that fake, or all of y'all pretending like y'all weren't dragging Jen? So in my mind, Mary was like, all right, cool. You don't want to be fake. Here we go. What are we doing?
Right.
What do you mean? What's going on?
So then at that point, Jenny, after Jen says like, no, like, I don't know. Like I was explaining to myself, I don't know why I had to go down there. What did I do? I didn't do anything. So then Jenny is just like, well, the truth is we got all these text messages. And then there's like Jen's like text messages. And then they like Lisa says, well, Whitney sent text messages. And Whitney says, don't act like you didn't call your 6 lawyers. And I'm just like, oh shit. And it goes
went off the rails like
once
that.
Everyone is arguing, and Mary says, well, I never said anything about Jen.
Heather's little laugh. Heather said,
and I'm just like, oh shit. We saw this clip already, but they obviously showed the flashback of Mary in one of her worst wigs, saying that I never saw good in Jen.
In her at all. I knew she was capable.
She said, I knew she was capable, but I never saw good. And so
I was knew like, it.
Right. So what did you think of that?
Look, first of all, the way that this luncheon has quickly entered my top 3 epic dinners across any franchises, just for the pure and quick descent into utter chaos that it went into from everybody in a split second. Like everybody was trying to save their own ass. Everybody was trying to I said some shit, but she said worse and blah blah blah. And everybody, even I think Whitney even said it. She was like, "What world are we living?" Oh, she said it on the after show. She said, "Only on our show are we competing to see who said the least worst shit about somebody." It was just Lisa's trying to no, I didn't have this. Mary's trying to shut Lisa up. Whitney won't stop fucking talking.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
Well, it really wasn't Whitney. So the first issue was with Mary and Lisa, because Mary, when Mary was grilling Jen, Lisa kept interjecting. She kept getting in the conversation, and Mary's like, I'm not talking to you. Like, let me talk to her. Even Whitney was like, Lisa, let her talk. And honestly, that moment proves what Meredith said last week was correct. When Lisa was saying that she had nothing to do with the argument, she's doing exactly what she always does. Like she does. Yeah. She Meredith is a good example this episode of sitting back and not saying nothing. Lisa could have did that, but she didn't sit back and eat her damn pho. She had to get involved. And it's just
that's what happens when you try to control the narrative. She has worked so hard the last couple of episodes to try to control the narrative that at some point if you stop even for a conversation, everything comes crashing down. And she knew it. If she didn't open her mouth and she didn't try to control that, everything that she had done and said the previous couple of weeks, Jen was going to find out. Which in my mind, I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like, why are you trying to protect what you said about Jen? Like,
well, no one. I mean, why would? My thing is, it's going to get out. I mean, you said it publicly.
She watches the show. You were on the damn show. Out.
And it's just like, I guess in the moment, I really feel like she was like, I think Heather or someone even said like, stop trying to, get in the conversation to like, she said something like basically like to protect their friendship, because it seemed like Lisa was trying to show. I think she would to show to be a better friend. She said something on the side. Heather and Mary were like aligned for 1 second, on what they
Yeah.
said about Lisa interjecting, trying to like show that she was a good friend to Jen, when really she wasn't. You know.
I mean, Mary was low key doing the exact same thing.
But do you really think that Mary was like? It's like it's. I do think she's been. I don't think she's being fake. I think she was calling it
She was
out. But
being fake.
I didn't like that
No,
she
she
was
was being fake.
glorifying it. You think she's being
Because
fake?
at the end of that, she was like, "Baby girl, come over here. You know me. You know I would never say that." I was like, "Mary, what the fuck?
But why
the
do you
fuck
think
is
she
going
was doing?
on?"
I'm very surprised Mary took that.
Mary was having a
stand.
good day that day. Like you said, she didn't come. She
Do
wasn't
you
mad.
re-
Mary was in surprisingly good spirits that day.
She was.
I don't know.
I think
I
she
don't know what
came
happened.
with peace. I think she really came. I think she came with peace in her heart. Like I think she had
She
went to
must
church.
have.
She went to church that
She must
morning.
have bought
She
a
was,
bag.
yeah.
She must have taken an extra 10% off the tithes or something.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, you know, I think that I didn't like after all the Marys we've seen, that was like the fakest Mary. I was like, Mary, like, what is this?
Because I would have thought Mary would have at least been the one to been like, yeah, you know, I believed it.
Yeah.
Just because how blunt that she is, I would have thought that she above
I
everybody
thought
would have
so
been
too.
like, I believe it. Like, goddamn, Mary.
Yeah.
But for her to be fake as fuck and lie right to this girl's face, I was like, oh shit.
But if
Okay.
you think about it, like my thing is the only reason why, yes, Brooke says you give Mary too much grace. The reason why I agree, I mean, the reason why I see that is because I mean the other ladies were doing it too. Whitney talked a whole lot of shit too in that car. And then she basically said, well, I met up with Jen and saw her crying. So now my heart has changed. I mean, if we're gonna give her the same grace, then give it to Mary too. It really seems like
well,
Mary
but in that conversation, if you heard, Whitney was in the background. She was saying, oh, I said that. Yeah, I sent text messages. Whitney was kind of owning all her shit. But she was still quick to kind of push the brain over on Lisa.
It's the difference between when you own something after it's been put out versus you doing it on your own. If someone has to call you out and then you start singing, it's like it's not as genuine. It's just like, you know, we have to force it out.
I mean, nobody else was admitting to what they said after they got called out.
Well, yeah, nobody was admitting what they were saying. And the person that was saying
Jenny did. No, Jenny did. Jenny said, like, no, we were all talking about you.
Jenny actually didn't even say nothing really. But
until
yeah, like
Mary
Dr. Cecil says,
until Mary kept interrupting Lisa.
Mary said she didn't want to re-hurt Jen. So I really feel like she went to church. She didn't want to go down that path. She wanted to get to the truth. She clearly said at the table, or she basically showed that she didn't believe the girl. I mean,
yeah,
kept asking. So was she lying about what she said? Sure, but was she being fake? I don't think she's being fake.
Was it a lie of compassion?
I don't know.
Were you lying to spare somebody's feelings?
Okay, so then after that, it gets a little crazy, and we forgot to mention the whole slanted eye thing, but that happened actually much earlier, and that's why I think Jenny was really upset about. But I guess we'll find out next episode. But the slanted eye thing, definitely terrible to say. We had a whole debate about it. I mean, it's never okay to like Jenny said, like that's not the way to describe it. Now, personally, am I gonna counsel Mary? No, but Jamie, give your opinion. It ain't changing over here. Sorry,
it ain't changing over here. I don't. Again, I also don't like the word cancel unless somebody is like fucking Ramona Singer and proves time and time and time again they're just a horrible fucking person. Yeah. Mary, I think, does not think before she speaks. But we can't. If that was a white woman who would have said, just like we said, what, last episode or 2 episodes ago, she's like a Mexican that makes drugs. If that was a white woman, we would have came with you know, torches and pitchforks. And now we got another, oh, I like your slanty eyes. Oh my God. Like, I want Mary to stop talking. Just stop talking. Just like at the reunion when she dug herself in a hole. We talked about that last season.
We did.
At the reunion, she dug herself in a hole. Mary just does not know when to be quiet. And okay, 1 time your words get mixed up. 2 times, maybe, you know, it's the emotions. 3 times, it's starting to look like a pattern. And all while this was going on, Mary is accusing other people of racism. And so far, 13 episodes in, the only thing that I'm seeing is Mary's consistently a little microaggressive. So I'm like, baby, thou doth protest too much. Like maybe you need to just be quiet a little bit. Just stop talking. Because let's be honest, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cortez, the minute Whitney opens her mouth and says something, or if Jenny had said, I like your whatever, insert a feature of Mary's, we'd be having a very different conversation. Am I right or am I wrong?
I agree. I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like this is I feel like it's a learning moment. I feel like everybody
That was a lot of I feel.
It's a learning moment, and if it happens again, then I would react. But I feel as though it's not okay. It's not right. It's not okay. It ain't
Yeah.
no Whitney Houston. But at the same time, like Antonio says, I really don't think that she knew it was offensive. It's unfortunate, but in this community, a lot of us have parents that say a lot of stuff that is like very offensive, and they just don't know. So that's why we educate them. Once they're educated, you do it again, then it's a problem. And so that's why that's how I'm looking at Mary. Now, I ain't saying she's socially unaware, but she clearly just has like, mouth boo boo. So she just kind of talks and talks and talks.
I mean, accountability is different from canceling. I don't think Mary's racist. Mary's not out here being, anti anything. Mary's stupid. Yeah. Mary's a little ignorant. But it's the same thing of like, you have to call bullshit out. Again, if this was a white lady saying something, we would immediately say, there's no excuse, not at your big age, not in 2021. So I think Mary does need to have a little bit of accountability and say like, girl.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Really
hopefully,
before you open your mouth.
I'm sure that Bravo would make her hold her accountable like they hold all the rest of the black women on Bravo, that they don't the whites. But we'll see. I'm sure it will be a thing.
No, they did it. No, they didn't. Look, because they cut out Kenya's Native American costume out from the episode.
Thing, and
they said, we don't want to address that. We're gonna go and just take that out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So after that, we can come back to that too. But yes,
I think that's why Jenny was. Jenny was just waiting for Mary to say something.
Well, and I think that's why she was upset, because when Jenny spoke up and said everybody was talking shit, she said, don't sit over here and you lie, Mary. Mary didn't like the lie. And Mary does not like people to yell at her. What I can say about Mary is that she really doesn't raise her voice when it comes to stuff. No. And so honestly, all she be asking Jenny really to do is like, don't yell at me. Yeah. But Jenny goes into, don't tell me what to do. And it's just like, because it's the same thing. This is what happened on the bus. Whether she was yelling at Mary specifically, but she was yelling at Mary and Lisa. Mary said, like, why? Like, don't talk to me like that. Don't tell me what to do. So at this point, I don't really see an issue with that. But in my opinion, Jenny is quite aggressive, actually. I'm going to say she's quite aggressive.
Jenny is boring until she gets to a point,
and then she just goes here. And honestly,
I'm like, whoa.
If Mary truly is a lady of God, you ain't finna yell at me. And I'm gonna say again, ain't no lady like Jenny finna yell at me as no black woman. I'm sorry. Tell me what you want. It is not. It don't look right to me. I ain't here for it. But in this moment, she did whatever, and this is what took me out. I thought it was quite funny. And Jenny had a little moment, but she was just like, she was like, well, look at me when you say this. And then what'd you say? He said, I don't really care for you. And she was like, well, I shouldn't be here. Well, there's the gate. Oh, there's the gate. I said, ooh. I was like, ooh, Jenny.
Because Mary
she got her snowflake.
Mary did that exact same thing to Whitney 3 or 4 episodes
ago. She did. I thought about that.
She said, now what I will give Mary credit for, Mary said, oh, okay. I don't want to be at this janky ass luncheon anyway.
But do you think
picked up her jacket?
Huh?
Picked up her jacket and walked out.
Yeah. It's
I think I can understand.
Go ahead.
I can understand not wanting someone to yell at you. I get that, because we've talked about, the thing with Potomac, and you need to watch how you talk to people, because then you can't control how people react to what you bring to them. But I am always of the mindset of there's more than one way to be disrespectful to somebody. You can disrespect me all the way to hell and back and never raise your voice. And Mary talks to people a little bit,
but not Jenny. We're talking about Jenny.
Well,
She has not
she has.
talked to every
She has
moment.
not.
Jenny is already at 100.
Mary has responded to Jenny, so and I don't fault Mary for how she responds to Jenny. When on that bus, when she was like, "You're not going to yell at me, little girl," I was like, "Oh, okay." Well,
What bus?
she yelled at you.
You talking about
Not little girl
Whitney?
at the bus. Whenever her and Lisa were getting in an
Oh, yeah.
argument, Mary had every right to get upset at Jenny at that point. Okay, I don't understand why Jenny got mad. Yeah, you're frustrated. You're yelling at both of them, and I think we talked about that. Like you were kind of looking for a little bit of a moment. I think tonight, because Jenny and Mary have been getting along the past couple episodes. Jenny was defending Mary. I think that comment, Jenny was like,
I think that slanted eye comment made her upset because it clearly she talks about it next week. And so I think she was upset because even though she was calling everybody out for talking mess, she was also calling Mary a liar. She was like,
Mary was the catalyst. Mary said,
Mary
I never said that.
Right. It was because Mary was the only one that said, I didn't say anything about you, Jen. So it really was I don't know.
Yeah.
But Mary gets up, she walks off, Meredith leaves with her. It comes crazy. Jen starts crying, she storms off, and then it's really crazy at this point. But Mary somehow finds her way over to Jen and tells her, I pray to God that you're guilty. I mean innocent. And I'm like, oh shit. But so they have their whole little conversation, and she's like what she say? I love you, like I'm here for you.
Girl, you know me, girl. Come here, sister. I'm like, Mary. Yeah, you don't like that lady. You were just I didn't like episodes ago avoiding her.
But that's because I don't really care for Jen. No shade. And yes, Carrie, there was Heather did call what's her name, anime character. That's been said a lot online today too. And people were comparing that to the Mary thing. I actually watched anime.
That's a reach. Everybody blonde and got a long blonde hair and a corset.
I think it was the fact that she was Asian. That's the anime. I'm just saying. I don't think it was the blonde or the corset. It was the Asian. It was her being Vietnamese with the slanted eyes that she said. I'm just saying.
There ain't nobody Vietnamese in anime anyway. They all got big European eyes.
But I watch anime too. That is what Jenny is trying to show for the show, that there is a difference between Vietnamese and being anything else. And so I feel like by that comment, Heather did kind of play into that, but of course that's going to be looked over. I'm sure she'll address it, Chad. I don't know. So then after that, Meredith goes back over there and she kind of lets the whole table have it, basically saying like, I'm the one person that got a problem with her, and I was quiet. Like, y'all are making this about y'all. Like, y'all are not being a good friend to her. And then at that point, Lisa's is like, I need you right now. Can you just be here for me? Can you just not leave? Can I just come with you?
For me, out of everybody here, stay for me. Girl.
Stay for me.
Your soup is getting cold. Shut up. Sit down. It's like how mortifying, how embarrassing.
But then she turned around and got upset and was mad at Meredith for defending Mary. And then she goes into yelling, and Mary's like, you've been yelling for 30 minutes. Can you just calm down and stop? And I'm like, thank God. Like Lisa
thank goes, God somebody said it.
She gets so whoa. It's just crazy. And I'm glad Meredith was just like, calm down.
Are you done yet? Do you want one of my Percocets? Do you want a Xanny? Like, what do we need?
Lord Jesus Christ. Stop it.
What? Allegedly.
Right. Any thoughts on that whole little last part of it, whatever?
I actually respect Meredith a lot more because she's straight up. She was like, I don't even like the bitch, but like, my God, can y'all back up a little bit? Like, if you're her friend, be her friend. If you're not, who gives a fuck? And I'm glad that she said that to Lisa. Like, you're acting a damn fool. You're acting a damn fool. Yeah. And are you done yet? What, like, for what? What where's this energy?
Lisa had no reason to be.
Where are the hysterics?
She had no reason. It wasn't even really about her. I mean, Mary told her.
It makes her look guiltier. The more you go into hysterics, the guiltier you fucking look.
Yeah.
Like, I want her to realize this quickly.
Yeah. That's very true. Very true. And so, closing out, Meredith looks at Jen and was like, but I told you not to invite her, that this would happen. And I was like, oh, Meredith. But Jenny
she still got to get her little.
Right. She got to get her little screw in, but Jeannie ain't yell at Meredith. I mean, I would have yelled at Meredith, but clearly there's some issue. I'm just saying. I mean, it's my event, it's my peace event. And so that's why I say the real
Like, bitch,
villain
I'm gonna buy
of this
whoever.
whole thing was Jenny, because the event was not peaceful. If anything, she should have been able to reel it back in. I get it. She was like, we all was talking shit. But girl, when she did that, she just kind of made it. She basically
she escalated it.
She made it escalate even more.
And you know what? Once again, Whitney was the one who started the entire conversation, and she got out of that conversation unscathed.
Untouched.
Because did you notice when Meredith came back and was like, you guys are doing exactly what you said we wouldn't do? And Whitney's like, you're right. Stop making it about ourselves. I'm like,
she did say that.
She did say that.
She did say that. She was like, stop making it about ourselves. I'm like, Whitney.
Y'all want to say she's ditzy? Y'all want to say she's this? Whitney is a master puppeteer. She got all the girls riled up, and then she's just sitting back there eating her pho, saying, you're right, Meredith. You are right. We need to be better women.
Well, Meredith doesn't really look at Whitney at all like that. She just, they just kind of like,
they're friendly. She said they're friends.
No, they are. But it's like, hey, girl, hey, like she don't really take her serious or don't take her serious. It's like, oh, it's Whitney, So, I don't know, but that was the episode, and so
that was a lot. It was a lot.
That last scene was a lot. We could break it up in many layers. If there's anything that we did miss, you can feel free to mention it now. We can talk about it. But it was a lot, so I'm gonna send the link for.
It was great. It was a great episode of television.
It was. It really was. I'm gonna send the link for a few call-ins. If there's anything we didn't discuss, put it in the chat. But yeah. So I don't know how many. We're on episode 14, and it's looking like I
think we're getting at least a 3-part reunion. I would say minimum 3-part reunion. So we'll probably have 18 episodes.
If it's not a 3-part reunion, then I'm going to write a letter to Bravo, because they gave one to Beverly Hills who didn't need it. Well, we thought they actually should have needed it, but they didn't.
Just 3.
They only need 3. And then we got what else did we have? We had
Potomac.
Oh, that needed to be like 2.5 parts. Yeah.
With Nikki.
Saskia, I have watched that show, Harlem.
It's good.
Oh yeah, I watched it like 2 weeks ago. You know what show? And while you're here, if you all have watched Selling Tampa on Netflix, let me know if you watched that. I was thinking about doing like a review for that, but let me know what y'all think. And if y'all have any recommendations for any shows too, let us know. We'll consider it depending on what's going on. Okay, so the first person that we're going to have on is the other Jamie. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
How's it going?
Welcome back to the lean. It's been a while.
It's been a minute, but I'm here. Just 2 quick things, though. So first thing I would say is that it could be just me, but I think Mary is the only cast that has not cussed one time this season.
Oh, yeah.
When she gets into her arguments. Yeah, so I think that's actually makes her different than all the other cast members. So I actually reflected about Mary, that she is one of the unique ones that does not cuss. She can read you down to the wire without cussing, which is, I think, a plus for her. And then 2, this thing about the when Jenny had the, I guess, sexy outfit on the wig in Meredith's house. I thought it was kind of funny when they showed the picture to Mary at the dinner, because she was the whole scene about Jenny trying to look sexy for her husband. To me, she looked a mess to me, but just all the girls.
I was gonna say cute. That was a horrible picture. That was a horrible picture.
The blonde wig and the black outfit.
Well, the wig was just terrible in general. Like it was very much so Party City hair. So
very
maybe
very well, like right. Kim Zolciak season 1.
Very much so party for the party. if the wig had been like laid and like a real wig, I think it would look fine. But it looked
part like right.
Yeah, it was like right in the middle. Like
the part right there was a bit much.
I couldn't.
But I guess all the girls thought that she was, cute, and then Mary was like, "Oh yeah, you look cute." I was like, "Mary, don't lie."
Mary
like that to Jenny.
Mary, I told you, Mary came in good spirits. She was lying. She told Jen she looked good. She told the wig. I think when she said the slant, I really feel like she meant something good by it. That's just me. I don't know. Not that it was good, but I think she meant it was good.
She did not say that with animosity in her heart. That does not change that it was fucking horrible.
Right. I know. I agree. I completely agree. It does not change it was wrong. But I thought she meant good. She came in good.
It sounded good, but I guess they took it the wrong way. But
in her head, she probably said, "Well, I did that."
The way it came across, right?
She was like, "Oh God, she gonna love me now."
She gonna love this comment, baby.
But overall, I thought it was actually a great episode. Like it's an hour and a half, so it was really good. So
yeah, it didn't feel like an hour and a half.
It didn't.
It took a little minute to get to the full luncheon. It did.
Yeah.
Because when I watched it again, I was like, okay, I didn't realize all this had happened. We had Ramadan, we had Mormon, we had cave things, and it was a lot going on. I was like, oh, then we finally get to the luncheon. So yeah,
it was long, but yeah, good stuff though. Good stuff.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in, Jamie, the other Jamie, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
All right, next person is Demisio is in this hallway. Hey, Demisio.
First of all, don't come for me. I'm in the hallway. First of all, yes, I am available. I am at work. I'm on break.
If you ain't working, you smoking. What's going on? Welcome back to the name.
What's going on?
Well, at least I look. At least there's one thing you know about me. I go to work.
That's
one thing. One thing. Okay, so I want to start off with Whitney and Lisa. First of all, I just want them to be a duo too, because they both are fake as hell and they just a mess, and they are the only two that just be starting all of the damn nonsense. If you really want to be technical, so they do just need to go on and kiss and make up and stop fake beefing at this point, because we're tired of it. We really are. Moving on to the luncheon. That was the most chaotic shit I have ever seen in a long ass time. I lived for the entire thing. Like, why are we arguing about who talked the most shit or not? Do it fucking matter at this point? Y'all always talking shit. Y'all always talking shit, so it really don't even matter. And then Meredith, girl, shut up. You just be quiet. We get it. You don't like Jen, but are you the attendee police? Like, I was confused. Like, do you control?
What Meredith? Now you mad at Meredith?
No, I'm not mad at her, but I'm just saying that she like the attendee police or something. Like, do she control who can come and who cannot come? Like, girl, who are you?
I really do. You think that if she had been told that Jen was coming, she would have came?
No, but I mean, even did we need Meredith though? Because what the hell did she do?
Well,
we always need Meredith.
She came and got Lisa. She calmed Lisa down. She helped
while also dragging her.
While also dragging her. She dragged the whole table right there.
Well, yeah, she did do that. She did do that. Somebody needs to.
She helped Meredith get across the grass in her former outfit. She did work.
Meredith went to the altar, honey, before she came to the dinner. Okay, she went to the altar.
She went to church. Mary
she went to the altar. They hit her with the holy water.
Yes.
Because she was just so calm, collective, and fake. It was amazing.
I love
it. She was so calm and just, super churchy. And that wig Jen had on, that wig was atrocity. Okay? That wig was horrible. The wig was horrible. She want to be black so bad, girl. You are all color, but you ain't of that color. So stay over there. You're not Coach Shaw. You're not Coach Shaw. Like, we get it, you married him. Y'all be having sex and all of that, but you're not. So calm down, girl. And
God bless that lady.
I heard y'all say something. about the New Jersey trailer. I loved it. I loved it.
What do I look like? I look like Mary. No. Whitney.
Oh, oh shit!
God damn it! We're grown adults.
Exactly.
We're grown adults.
Why we playing? What we playing for?
Grown adults.
But I am ready. I am so ready for this new season of New Jersey, and I am ready for Teresa. I am ready for Teresa to take.
Later, me, so we don't sound like shit. You know.
You said that. I'm sorry. That's why I brought it up.
I got another call. Let you go, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I had to be slow.
I want to stay on topic of Salt Lake City. And we have one more caller too, so that's why.
Well, you over there playing your mama
Welcome back
wigs.
to the lean.
Hi, I just wanted to call in because there was just too much caping for Mary on this show. I cannot. Y'all got to get over it. That woman is horrible. She's horrible. And the thing
y'all?
about it is,
Who's y'all?
Cortez, if she saw you at a 7-Eleven, she'd be scared because she don't
Well,
mess
not
with
me
black
because
people.
I don't look like that.
It's all black men. She don't like none of y'all, none of us. And that's what I think I don't like. Like maybe with Mary, I could get over some of the other stuff and just say, oh, she misspoke. But it's her third racism. And her first racism was against black people. And I just cannot stand for it. Can't do it. And I just ain't liked her since, and I can't. And she probably is scheming and stealing, but I don't think she runs a cult. But she definitely scheming and stealing. She's just doing it better than Jen.
I love Brooke.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I wanted to say about the wigs is, y'all know that was y'all girl Meredith's wig that she just had on hand and pulled out her closet.
That's
the wig she put on
horrible
for her husband when she want to be dirty.
And that's why her and her husband was separated.
Oh,
that's what she pulling out.
I would not tolerate Meredith slander on this channel. I'm just talking.
But yeah, that's all I had. It was just too much pro Mary. Y'all, I know she's the only black girl lady on the show, so we got to give her. It's just too much, though. It's too much.
My thing is, like, I feel like it's very difficult to coexist with this group of women. I feel for her. I feel like she is hurting.
Well, this is why she's hurting. No, she's not hurting because she's hurting because she wishes she was them. She wishes she was white and had that.
Yes, I think I saw you say that in the comments. Why do you think that she would wants to identify as white or be white?
Because she thinks she's better than everybody else. Like that's what she associates with being better. You can tell that she does not embrace her blackness except when it becomes beneficial. Well, I'm black. I know, I would never be racist to Mexicans because I'm black and I know how that feels. Or, but you were talking about black people from the 7-Eleven and she's like, no, I'm black. My husband black, my son black, blah, blah, blah. Her blackness only comes into play when it's beneficial to her. Otherwise, she was born into this. She got more money than everybody. She don't care. It's nothing about, it's just she uses it when it's convenient for her. And that's why I don't like black people like that. Like you got to be black.
Her church is all black. I mean,
yeah, but it's black people in Utah.
I actually tried to go to her church, but we couldn't make it.
Y'all was too busy drinking in y'all silk pajamas. Y'all wasn't gonna make it up for church.
Oh.
Well, wait a minute. This is on Friday. That's my Sunday.
But yeah, that's all I had to say. I just wanted something to be the voice of reason concerning Mary. Because I know you love you some Mary, and it is irrational.
Oh, well, I do love Mary, and I just feel for her, and yeah, maybe she controls me too. I don't know. Maybe this is
don't send her no money, Cortez. Don't send her no money,
Cortez.
I will only send her no more than $10. That's it. That's the same amount I get at OnlyFans. That's it. Okay, Brooke. Thank you for letting in.
Bye, guys.
Okay. I think that was the last caller. And yeah, the episode was good. Like, it was a good episode. These women are continuing to like really put like their best work forward. And it's their second season. So if you're not watching Salt Lake City, I think I saw Sasuke. She said she didn't watch season 1. It's not a necessity, but it's a good season. And the 7-Eleven issue was that at the reunion, Jen Shah said that Mary says that she was uncomfortable when she goes to a 7-Eleven. Is that what she said? Like she wouldn't go inside and she saw like a black person? Is that what she said?
She avoids black people when she
avoids black. Yeah, right. That's what Jen Shah said that Mary said. And Mary,
or no, if she pulls up to a 7-Eleven and there are black men hanging outside, she'll drive past and go to another store.
And Mary, she did say that's what she does. But we talked about the last season, and I felt like I understood what she was kind of saying. Maybe like a person that was looking a little rough. I think she just happened to. It's unfortunate, but in terms of like to say that, because I go to 7-Eleven child too. I'm not gonna. I'm pulling out too. White, black, whatever. If you look rough, then I'm gonna pull out. But I think her bad words was just to say a group of black men. So,
and I think we didn't really harp on it too much last season because it was coming from Jen Shah. And it was like, Jen, this is not a conversation that you
because Jen Shah was trying
start.
to really give out that she was black.
Jen, this right message, wrong messenger. So like, please mind your business over there.
I'm not surprised. I do. So although she has the black church, I do feel like Mary may, coexist more with white people. But I think
I don't necessarily think that's more classism. Mary's got a little bit of money. Mary's got some money, and so she probably does think that money affords her a certain lifestyle, which it does. She doesn't have to engage with certain people that are, hang outside convenience stores, whatever. I'm not going to assume to what's going on in her head, but that is across all races, black, white, Latinos. Hell, I know some Latinos who ain't even got money that, just because their husband has a 9-to-5 think they're better than somebody. So
she did say, I'm looking at the comments, Carrie, she did say that she said it. Because this was a moment where it was like very cringy. She was very cringy.
She acknowledged it. She goes, yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I'm like,
she did say that she said it. Jen brought it up, but to kind of take away some of her blackness, because to add more to her blackness, but
not to add more to her blackness.
Well, she did it to take away from Mary's blackness to add to Jen's her own blackness. And
Mary described it as more so if she's by herself, she's not going to get out of her car and walk through a group of men by herself at night. And I was like, okay, that's a different connotation than I'm not going to go to a store with black people.
Yeah,
which is what Jen was inferring.
Right. Okay. Well, we are just about done and no callers, and so we're going to lean out. We'll be here next week, same time. Maybe Jamie, maybe me, maybe Tonio, maybe Chad if he got time for us. Hit Chad up, Chad on Instagram. Tell him to get back over here before
he's so fake. He always messaging, oh God, I want to join the crew, I want to jump on, and then he never show up.
Right. Be over there looking like this. Can I get on the call? No. But yeah, with that being said, y'all be
talk about why is my camera time getting diminished? Why am I not on screen?
Right. I don't know if y'all saw Mary's post on Instagram. She made a post about the cast's screen time in this last episode, and I guess she had like the smallest amount. I don't know what she was trying to say with that.
I don't know. I'm
curious, and I really hope that we get more of understanding why she was calling Heather and Whitney a racist. I really want to understand more. Is it just because of the way that they were saying they were scared of her, or is it like something actually happened to where she said that?
Because as of right now, I'm not.
I'm trying to see it. Like, I mean, I'm not saying they aren't, but I haven't seen anything like clear. Racism is. That's a very loaded statement. So I want to see something. But yeah, nonetheless, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Again, we're going to be doing Housewives in New Jersey, but that's not till February. We may do some in-between shows like Selling Sunset or something, or whatever we decide to do. Just check the channel for any updates, and we will see y'all next week. Okay? Thank y'all for listening in. Subscribe, like this video, and y'all have a good rest of y'all lovely Monday night. Good night.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, yeah, it's Christmas this week.
Merry Christmas is Saturday.
I forgot.
Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa,
Merry
happy
Christmas.
Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
After Christmas, and after that, after the New Year. Oh my God.
Be safe, wear your mask, get your booster shot.
Please wear your mask. Get your Christmas gifts, and good night.